Hey there, and welcome back to Elden Ring. Now, on our last one, we just completed the Divine Tower, but here, if we look on the map, we've been following these guidances of grace, leading us along here into Stormvale, which then ultimately takes us this way. And the finger reader also talked about us, right here, she read our fingers and told us, seeking out to become Elden Lord and yada, 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 and how we got to go to the plateau, and we got to go through the lands of the lakes, but the bridge is broken, but the castle's still standing. We cleared the castle, so now we're up there. But if we look, there is also grace telling us to go this way. There's something here that, the Erd Tree, because it talked about how the grace is from the Erd Tree at one point, or, it's all tying us in to fix the Elden Ring. It wants us to go this way. Because ultimately, it maybe stems from the Greater Will, because they talked about how the Greater Will handed out the blessing once the demigods failed. And so maybe this whole grace and its guidance is the Greater Will pointing us in a direction to become the Elden Lord and fix the Elden Ring. So there's something here that should help us out. And there's a bridge. It's called the Bridge of Sacrifice. We are going to sprint past all these guys, really, because there is a ballista that can cause us a bit of problems. Yeah. Now, an interesting thing about this bridge, it's defending, it had the ballista pointing this way. It's keeping guys from going here. And there's a bunch of soldiers that are hanging. But if you look here, too, look. It's also pointing, the different, barricades are pointing out that way. They're also keeping dudes from coming that way. There's two fronts going on here for some reason. There's a maiden here. She's covered in blood. Simple dress, but she has, if the ghost could get out of the way, she has a blindfold on. Which we've seen figures with blindfolds before, like Corwin. And I would imagine it has something to do with seeing things you're not supposed to, prophecies, whatever.
Hello? Is somebody there?
But see, she actually seems to be blind.
For a moment, please. My name is Irina. I've escaped from Castle Morne to the south. The servants there have rebelled. I can't be sure what it is. My eyesight's been weak since birth, you see. But I swear I heard frightful howling from all over. My good father secreted me out the castle, but decided himself to stay. He says it's his duty. As commander.
Okay, so there's Castle Morne to the south. The servants have rebelled. They escaped. Her father is the commander. We've met a commander-type dude before, except he was a blood-crazed knight from Stormvale. Godric Knight.
I fear for father's life. The servants are full of wrath, filled with hatred for every one of us. They've since come for every one of the companions I escaped with. They haven't spared a soul. I fear it's no different at Castle Morne. Please, I implore you, would you mind taking a letter to my father? At the castle, my soul wishes that he escape, even if his honor should be the price. Please. I just want him to be safe.
Alright, we'll deliver the letter.
Thank you. Dearly. Then please, take this.
Irina's letter.
Deliver it to my father, who remains in the castle, if you please.
So this reminds me a lot of Castle Height, right? Because there was a ghost that talked about the demi-humans wax wroth. And, they were attacking the castle. And it's because they took their leader. And then you had Kenneth Height, who said he was going to repair the relations between the two of them. And how all could fall under the Erd Tree. And she talked about the servants, how they grew angry at things and then rebelled.
Please, he can be stubborn.
Alright. We'll see. Hopefully her father isn't some crazy guy too, right? But the letter given by Irina addressed to her father, commander of Castle Morne, a gorgeous silken handkerchief lightly stained with blood. Words can be made out within. Okay. And look, you can even see there are bodies here. She talked about how the other ones that escaped have been picked off as well over time. And up ahead, way out there, we can see there's one of those big cart things that we saw the trolls pulling. There's items that are typically within them when we get to the gate front. There's a troll over there to the right. Maybe some soldiers as well, right? Are those soldiers? Dog. Dogs. Oh, and there's somebody over there. More dogs. Okay. We defeat all those guys. We actually find a Morning Star in there, which I don't believe has anything to say in there. And there are a bunch of people. So there were a bunch of soldiers and a troll hanging out there. I say a bunch of soldiers, a couple soldiers. But then there are these things. These are not like the demi-humans that we saw earlier. At all. Like, not at all. These guys have, like, wings things on their lower bodies. They got other little vestigial stump things coming out of their shoulder blades. Furred leggings, some kind of, like, tails. They're hatcheting away at the bodies. Alright. Hey there. Oh, that was a freaky face. Oh, here he comes. Oh, too much of early on the counterattack. These guys are attacking like a bunch of savages. Look at the face on him. Oh, yeah. That is... I mean, that is a human face with, like, disturbingly human little chiclet teeth. But, I mean, look at the feet. Are these big, nasty claws and hands. They got, like, kind of scaled and feathered. And you know what the feet remind me of? Is Hugh. Because Hugh has a very similar feet to that. Alright, so path on the trail. There's a path up this way, but we want to go south because that's where Castle Morne is, and there's a whole, I mean, a wall, right? It's like, you know, towers attached to it, old ancient ruins, but it's all busted up. I mean, we want to go south because we want to get to that castle and deliver it, because that's what this video is going to be about, is delivering that letter and Castle Morne. This is actually one of my favorite sets of armor. The, like, iron helmet and, like, scale armor. Like, I really like it. I love the fashion of it. I think it looks awesome. But there's a crimson amber medallion. The Erd tree's old sap becomes amber, treasured as the most precious of jewels in the age of Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. A primordial life energy resides inside, which lines up with some of the stuff we've learned about the Erd tree and, like, the primordial crucible or something, and then what Selen said as far as, like, amber being, like, holding ancient life, and the glintstone being the life, the, like, residual star life and stuff, which, yeah. And we can see it there. That has to be Castle Morne. It's much larger than, like, the castle or Fort Height, because that other place was a fort. That's a castle, right? And right there's a little, I don't know what you call it, totem obelisk thing where we can get a map. And we actually see something up ahead. Look at that. You can see it just vaguely shooting arrows. It's a guardian golem. Now, why is he there? You know, I don't know. Somehow it owes an allegiance. It just happened to be there. But it very much, I mean, I don't think it's chance that it's sitting outside of the castle we're trying to get to and shooting arrows at us as we try and go up there. We'll get ourselves a golden seed, and we're going to make our way up. There's smoke rising from the castle as well. Like, you know that's not good. But look at it. It's, like, way up on this, like, huge, cliffy, almost like mountain top, right? This castle must be pretty old, right? Looked like the golem was already hurt, actually. So I wonder why that is. Wonder, did something else try and breach the castle and it got injured? Like, what's the deal? Oh, and look, there's a sword memorial. The Siege of Castle Morne. A lone hero fights for his vengeance, only to fall at the hand of Lord Godfrey. Alright, so, I mean, we know a bit about Godfrey. First Elden Lord, unbeaten armies, a lone hero fighting for vengeance. But, like, vengeance against what, right? And this passageway is just, like, built into the rock. And then we take the lift up. I mean, can you imagine how well you could defend this? Like, if the one way up into this castle is, like, this lift, it'd be so hard to really siege it, right? That's a grim sight. Like, you can see it right away on that bridge up there. Just soldiers hanging all over the place. And we saw that on the Bridge of Sacrifice. How there were a bunch of soldiers, like, hung up there. So maybe those guys had made it that far and hung a bunch of them, and then the Godric soldiers managed to like push back and defeat them and like retake the bridge. And look, there's why we say smoke coming off of the castle, is because it's a huge mound of bodies. Like that's actually like just a ridiculous amount of bodies. Like there's no way that there were that many people in this place. I guess it could have come from like the entirety of the peninsula, I suppose. Oh, we can hear fighting. So there's still soldiers trying to hold off these servants. Now, again, spirit summons. Like this turns into an, like, look how many dudes there are there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. They've got a dude burned up on a stake. It's giving me some huge Bloodborne vibes. Yeah, that dude's got a big old axe. Like they are. Oh, look at that way its mouth opens too. Yeah. All right. Now these guys were the servants, I guess, right? If they're the ones who rebelled. There we go. Boom. An old fang. Oh, we've gotten that before. We got it from that crazy lion thing. You can find them from hunting, what do you say, carnivorous beasts. And the, like, 2 fangs sprouting from a single root was, like a sign of the primordial crucible or something. So, like, do these guys have some kind of tie-in with that? And look at him. Look at the scales, and he's even got barnacle things on his head, just like Hugh. Like, is this what Hugh is? And we got an iron cleaver. Alright, sometimes I try and get that thing, and I can never get it to drop. Let's see here. A fairly large iron cleaver, commonly used by the maltreated misbegotten. Oh, maltreated. Steeped in resentment, these weapons are swung wildly and relentlessly, often after rushing up to foes. Alright, so they were mistreated, which would explain why they would, like, rebel, right? If you're not treated well, like, yeah, it's going to end up happening. Lost one of our soldiers, and there's a big pumpkin head. Now, we actually got this helmet, and I don't know that I ever talked about it. So it's an oval helm large enough to cover any head, heavy, hard, reduces headshot damages. The inside of the helmet is pitch black, keeping the crazed warrior within from panicking. Perhaps its rather roomy interior also helps alleviate feelings of pressure and claustrophobia. It's kind of crazy. So it's a crazed warrior. So he's just sitting there calm, like, because he's all happy within his helmet. But, like, why is he crazy? I mean, I guess there's a lot of crazy people that are crazy for various things at this place, right? But I like that the big guys, or the misbegotten, weren't fighting him at all. They just let him be. Now, there's a path over there we could take, or we can go up and climb the mound of bodies and take this path over here, which is my go-to way, and I think the normal way most people do. The Claymore. Again, it's kind of just a standard sword. I don't think there's anything worth. It's like really it's straight blade, addition thing. You know what I never talked about? Rajir's rapier. We got that, and I was so distracted by what Rajir said. It doesn't really have anything fancy to say, actually. It does have glint blade failings, used by the enchanted knights who served the Carian royal family. Oh, look, there's 2 of them. There's a soldier. He's, like, kneeling down for execution. Oh, I was gonna save you, Godric soldier. You know he wouldn't have, like, sanked us at all. He would have just tried to kill us, too. Look at that view, though. It's pretty good. Castle or fort height over there. And see, what I was talking about was, like, the runes in the side of the, like, cliff sides and stuff. Like, look at those. Like, look just like the Divine Tower section, like the Divine Tower of Limgrave we went to. Like, the way it's, like, terraced and stuff. Like, that's what it looks like. And it looks like it spanned the entirety of the land. How long ago? Who knows? You know, like, what happened to it? Why is it all broken? Was it from the shattering? Did the shattering do that? Or was it something else? More battling going on up ahead. Soldiers and misbegotten, I think. Sure is. Sorry, bud. Get this item. What are you gonna do, bud? Oh no. Oh, I missed. Oh, my stamina was not recovered at all, I guess. Steel wire torch. I'm probably gonna equip that if I can do it. Ah, no, it's too heavy. I mean, I could do some armor finagling to make it happen. Torch wound with metal wire. The flame can illuminate dark locales or be used to attack enemies. Heavier than a normal torch, but the heated filament boosts fire damage dealt. And it's got a fire breather effect, which I really like. It's not amazing. I mean, it'll do stuff for us now, but in the long run, it's not going to be super efficient. Look at how he was just, like, cheering on the fact that there were a bunch of dead, like, soldiers and stuff. But, I mean, I guess if they were really mistreated and stuff, that would make a lot of sense, right? Those guys actually have wings, like, full-blown wings. And he got right past my thing. And he stabbed me with a little dagger thing. Or a short sword of sorts. Site of grace right there, but we want to actually keep going this way. Because there was some fighting going on. Now, we could have gotten up here a slightly different way. So there was that other path right around over there where their pumpkin head was. It would have put us back up on a different section. More soldiers going down. Here we go. Golden runes. Let's hit him with a fire pot. Oh, what a jerk. Got him. Our attack was too slow. Oh, I wanted that healing. Aw. And look, there's a dude. He looks like a banished knight, but this dude doesn't have a helmet on. He's actually like a character for us to meet. Yeah. Yeah, it's some fancy armor, dude. But I think the coloration and stuff, it's not the same as the other ones that we've met. Like, their armor doesn't have that type of design on it, or a cloak, right? Theirs is just a straight armor. There's some with like a cloak thing wrapped around their helmet, but not like that.
There's a face I've not seen before. I'm Edgar, warden of this castle, as ordained by Lord Godric himself. But you can see how things have turned out. The menials have all rebelled. They gave me good service, or so I thought. But it seems it was all an act. Foul creatures, as it said, and true enough, they're foul inside and out. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but whatever you come here to do, I'm afraid Castle Morne won't hold much longer. Take this, by way of apology.
Sacrificial twig. We're going to deliver the letter.
I see. From Arena. Thank you. I'm in your debt, but I can't leave yet. Even if the castle should fall, as commander, I must remain to ensure the treasured sword of Morne does not fall into the wrong hands.
Treasured sword of Morne. Alright.
If you see Arena, do tell her that her father will come for her once he's fulfilled his duty.
Alright, man. Well, maybe we'll go and see about this treasured sword of Morne. Now that we've got this side of grace, we might go ahead and go let Irina know that basically he's not going to leave yet until he's finished up what he's trying to do. We hadn't looked at the map yet. You can see that there is a minor Erd tree. There's also some kind of town thing there. Anytime you see that, that's a mine, because I've been to a mine before. That's one of those jails. There's some other large structures that for us to go to, a wooded chapel section as well. Alright, there's some stuff we can do. But we are going to go and back to the Bridge of Sacrifice and talk to Irina. Oh, there weren't soldiers there. There weren't bodies of soldiers there before. Oh, yeah, that doesn't look good. Yeah, it's bad. She's dead. And you can see it's got the cleaver thing. It's the misbegotten, right? But the thing about it is, though, too, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's obvious, like, the Misbegotten did it. Because, I mean, that's exactly what was coming for them. But we don't actually see a Misbegotten there. And why would they leave their weapon? You know? It's a little strange. But now we're moving behind Castle Morne. And look way out there. We've seen things like that before. I've seen them at graveyards in this game. I wonder why there would even be a gate there. I mean, this doesn't make a lot of actual logical sense, but I guess, you know, it's a fantasy game, so what does it matter, right? Now we could drop down over there, or if we go right here, see, you look around a little bit first and then make your decision, and you can end up with things like stone sword keys. Hooray. Alright, so back here. Now, it's interesting, like, look at that dude. He's cowering. He's covering his ears. So, like, why? Is he afraid of something? Did all of these not actually want to rebel? Like, oh, there's, like, some sludge thing. There's bodies in cages. Huh. Oh, a ghost, too. Pick this up first. Pickled turtleneck. Yeah, I knew you wanted to get me. You know what's interesting about that thing? Look at that. Look how it's got the, like, bits of white on it. You know what that reminds me of? Is that, like, alabaster guy, or whatever he is, that's on the beach that gave us the Gravitas Ash of War. Because he had, like, kind of a white marbly looking section like that, right? There's our fire. It's weak to fire. What does he have to say? Please help me. I'm of noble blood. If those hideous mongrels eat me, I'll be forever marred. Anything but that, please think of the disgrace. So he's really worried about being eaten. He'll be forever hideously marred. I mean, he'll be eaten, though. Like, what difference does it make, you know? He'll be dead. Unless there's some other, like, negative that will happen if he's eaten. Like, does something else happen? Because, like, the burial and returning to the roots and stuff is a very important, like, thing. So maybe being devoured, like, somehow makes it so that can't happen, like, worsens it or something, right? Actually, I think there might have been a ladder to go. Yeah, there was a ladder to go up there. Oops. If you go up there, you get a talisman. It is a twin blade talisman, which was a helps. It was like a secret technique used by the Inquisitors, and it strengthens the last hit in your, like, attack combo. So, like, if you do your basic attack combo, see how that's like my final hit, it would give it a damage bonus. I like never pull out a full attack combo, so I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm not sure why you would use it. I guess there are times when you could pull it off. Some of your colossal weapons and stuff only really have, like, 2-hit combos and stuff, so maybe there it could be worth something. Ambush. Except, what's around us? It's a bunch of freaking rats, dude. Gotcha. Hey, shield bash. Big old fan. I like shield bash. And we got a whip. Anything else in here? I mean, again, it's like a prison-y torture chamber. That's what the other one was like, too. I mean, I guess it's bound to... I guess castles are kind of bound to have that, right? Look how creepy those guys look, man. I mean, like, these guys are creepy, too, right? But, I mean, and he's got a huge tail. We didn't really look at that before, but it's, like, covered in spikes. But the spikes... and spines, they don't look like regular, like, they're almost teeth-like to me, and I don't like it. I don't like it one little bit. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what Hugh is, right? Except Hugh has a beard, and he's kind of chill. Alright. Boss time, huh? And if we look over to the side, Castellan Edgar. So he should help us out with the fight. With whatever we're going to fight here, right? Let's go on in. Ooh. Leonin Misbegotten. So like a lion. Now, we've heard of something like a lion before, and that was like General Radon, the Red Lion, I think is what old Gideon off near the All-Knowing said. He's got like a serpent tail. He also has kind of like wing things there on his like lower back, but they're very like not formed completely, right? Whereas some of them have the full big wings, but a lot of them don't have the big tails, right? So there's like, they have a bunch of the different properties, and he even has like kind of a big mane thing. He's got a roar thing going on, and he seems very fast, very strong. But we'll help out Edgar now. That's not my weapon. Nice. I want a critical hit. Look at that face. Yeah, it's still pretty man-like for something that's Leonin. Unless maybe it's simply because he has a like red-looking mane, you know? There we are. Can't beat the Great Shield. Aw, bummer, dude. Yeah, Edgar would have lost to him straight up. And the Grafted Blade Greatsword. Now, we have an item that we're using right now, the Arsenal Charm, is derived from an unusual greatsword once wielded by a hero hungry for vengeance. And now we've got this greatsword, Grafted Blade Greatsword, the storied sword of Castle Morne, a revenger's weapon. It is burdened with oceans of anger and regret, one of the legendary armaments. A lone surviving champion from a country now vanished was so determined to continue fighting that he claimed the swords of an entire clan of warriors. It's pretty cool. I really like the sword. I think it's pretty cool. I have not like fully used it before either, and I feel like I should. Look at that thing. I mean, it's kind of a Game of Thrones reference because of, you know, it got like this Throne of Swords or whatever it's called. But the grafted thing also meshes in well with, you know, Godric and stuff. And trying to get a good look at the like the crossguard section. Oh, it has a liony beast emblem on there. Which is a symbol of the golden lineage. Now, there's a couple things about it that like I feel like are kind of tying in with it, because it goes in with this Arsenal Charm that you got from Godric's grafting grounds, which was derived from an unusual greatsword wielded by a hero hungry for vengeance. And then the sword memorial talked about how they were, you know, there was a hero who was looking for vengeance until he was defeated by Godfrey. Now there is the brick hammer, and I'm starting to wonder if there's a connection. Wielded by a laborer who led a rebellion and later became a champion himself. Even among legends of its size, it's especially weighty. The strength of a giant is required to wield it. So, was there like a rebellion in like Stormvale because something happened there, and then this person went on to become a champion, like, and a hero, like this sort of says, right? A lone surviving champion from a country now vanished. Did he like rebel because their country was like subjugated or like removed? And then, I mean, the hawk was an old emblem of Stormvale until it was like, you know, is an old forgotten emblem. And what did we see around the place? All like Erd Tree symbology, golden lineage and stuff. So maybe there was some group that used to be in Stormvale, and then they were supplanted by the golden lineage, the Erd Tree, Age of the Erd Tree and stuff. And then, you know, basically the people were like subjugated. And then you had this guy who rebelled, became like a champion, but was ultimately defeated by Godfrey. This is all just a head story I've got going on now. I have no merit for its like authenticity or accuracy or anything like that. Also, the unique sword is an oath of vengeance. Swear an oath upon the great sword to avenge the clan. Temporarily raises all attributes for a certain duration. While its effects are active, poise will also be increased. I kind of want to use it, actually. But we need to go talk to Edgar. He might have something to say for us. But we also know that Irina is dead, which is kind of a problem. So we may need to tell him about that.
Oh, your divinity, have mercy and grant me forgiveness.
is yet long. A god is not easily felled. But one day without fail you will have your wish. So please grant me forgiveness, Queen America.
I just came up here to upgrade the sword a little bit. I wasn't expecting a prayer. So he's praying to America, and a road is long, and a god is not easily felled. So please forgive him and have mercy, Queen America. What god is he talking about? Hey, bud.
You, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't notice you there. I'll be doing my job, same as ever. Just lay out your arms.
Let me strengthen my thing, and then we're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. I don't have the runes. Okay, let's talk about the prayer.
Those words were not meant for you.
I know, obviously.
I may be prisoner to you, tarnished lot, but my prayers are mine, and mine alone. Well, I've had my say. I'll be more careful too.
Uh-huh. Oh, and Rodriguez over there now. Okay, about Rodriga.
I spoke with the girl. She has a gift for spirit tuning, so I told her everything I know. I'm indebted to a spirit tuner I met long ago. It was all I could do to honor her. I'm sorry I doubted you.
Huh. Indebted to a spirit tuner who has the same hue of eyes as Rodriga, I can assume, right? Alright, Edgar.
I'm in your debt for keeping the sword from those fallen creatures. I'm no longer bound by duty.
Alright.
Once I've rescued Irina, I will spend my remaining days with her.
Uh-huh.
Thanks to you, and devote my remaining days. Irina has a gentle nature, though. I only hope it remains intact.
Yep, totally. Well, let's see.
Irina, how could this be? My daughter deserved better. The fault lies with me. I chose duty over my daughter's safety. And that is how fate has answered. I'll find them. The foul wretches responsible for this. I'll hunt them down and exterminate every last one of them. Rest assured, Irina, it will be done. I'll hunt them.
Well, that's that one. That's Castle Morne. There's our sword. I had this other thought as well before we completely close out. So, like I was saying, we got that brick hammer from Stormvale about a laborer who rebelled and later became a champion. And then we've got this grafted greatsword, treasured sword of Castle Morne, and how it was wielded or like made by a champion. And then there was stuff with the sword memorial here, you know. And I wonder if that champion or even that rebel could have been Hugh, right? Because like, who are we finding all over this place? It's a misbegotten. And what does Hugh look to be? He looks to be one of the misbegotten. So could he be that like champion, that hero? Is that why, you know, he's asking Queen America for forgiveness? He seems to be like punished. He's trapped in the Round Table hold. So maybe there's some connection there. I'm going to read this again real quick because I want to see exactly what it says and like whether or not Godfrey killed him or just like defeated him. Siege of Castle Morne. A lone hero fights for his vengeance only to fall at the hands of Lord Godfrey. So, I mean, fall typically means die, right? But I guess it's not 100%. But thanks for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And, you know, it's some interesting food for thought with what's going on here in this place. And there's a lot going on down here in the Weeping Peninsula. So, until the next one, take care, everybody.